Today, we're going to talk about a revolution that completely reshaped human history. But this one wasn't driven by gears or circuits. Nope. It was driven by actually reshaping the Earth itself.
So, when I say the word technology, what pops into your head? I bet it's something like computers or engines, maybe some kind of complex machine, right? But what if the most powerful innovations weren't things you could hold in your hand?
What if they were systems, intelligent ways of redesigning entire landscapes to feed millions of people? And believe it or not, one of the greatest examples of this kind of systems thinking started with just a single, humble grain of rice.
So yeah, this is a story about rice, but it's really so much bigger than that. It's about the revolutionary system that was built around rice, a system that would go on to totally transform societies all across Southeast Asia.
And this system has a name. It's called Paddy culture. And let me tell you, it wasn't just a new way to farm. It was a new form of technology, a way of engineering a brand new environment for humans to absolutely thrive in. So, what was the secret sauce? What made this whole thing so revolutionary? Well, it all comes down to one simple but really profound idea: control over water. This was the huge leap from, just gambling on rainfall to actually engineering a reliable harvest. You see, before this, growing rice was a total gamble against the weather. But paddy cultivation, it changed the entire game. By controlling the water, farmers weren't just growing food anymore. They were creating predictability, and with it, security year after year after year.
And that is the key right there. A rice paddy isn't a natural swamp, not at all. It's a purpose-built, human-managed aquatic environment, meticulously designed to grow rice in these precisely controlled flooded fields.
And this system was just incredibly efficient. The standing water naturally kept the weeds down, it created a super stable environment for the rice to just flourish, and it allowed farmers to produce these huge harvests from a pretty small area of land.
Okay, so this brings us to a really cool way of thinking about these ancient farmers. They weren't just laborers, toiling away. They were highly skilled engineers who fundamentally redesigned the entire world around them.
I mean, it might just look like mud and water, but don't be fooled. Every single one of those rice paddies represents a triumph of design and ingenuity, and it's all built on this incredibly deep understanding of the local environment.
The process itself was a masterpiece of engineering. First, you had to meticulously level the land so the water would be distributed evenly. Then, you'd build these embankments to hold all that water in. Then, you'd cut these intricate channels to guide the water in and, just as importantly, to drain it away. This was not a set-it-and-forget-it system. It took constant, skillful management of water levels.
So you see, the real technology here wasn't the shovel or the hoe. It was the knowledge, the practical intelligence passed down through generations about how to read the land, how to understand the flow of water, and how to work with the rhythm of the seasons.
And the impact of all this knowledge? Oh, it was massive. This brand new, highly productive way of farming didn't just change diets. It became the very foundation that entire civilizations were built on.
I mean, think about it. Being able to reliably produce a huge surplus of food, that changes absolutely everything for a society. It unlocks stability, and it frees people up to pursue skills that go way beyond just basic farming.
This food surplus created this incredible ripple effect. Villages could grow larger and denser, and since not everyone had to be a farmer anymore, labor started to specialize. You got artisans, traders, builders. In short, this surplus was literally the bedrock of organized civilization.
But there was a catch. This incredible system, well, it couldn't be managed by just one person or one family. It was simply too big, too interconnected for that.
A paddy system is a shared resource. The water that flows into your field is coming from a channel that also serves all your neighbors. Success demanded an immense amount of community cooperation and shared planning. This system didn't just change the land, it fundamentally shaped the social fabric of entire communities.
So when you really step back and you look at the whole picture, this huge agricultural breakthrough, born from simple mud and water, well, it was nothing short of a revolution.
And this quote really puts the scale of its importance into perspective. We so often see these grand monuments, temples and palaces, as the mark of a great civilization. But the humble rice paddy, the very system that fed the people who built those monuments, is every bit as significant to history.
And this brings us right back to our opening question, doesn't it? The story of the rice paddy revolution really forces us to expand our definition of what technology truly is.
Ultimately, technology is all about applying intelligence to the world to solve problems. Whether that intelligence is written in code or carved into the soil, it's all about the ingenious systems we create to build a better world. So I'll leave you with a final thought. The rice paddy was a world-changing system that was hiding in plain sight. What are the invisible systems, technological, social, or otherwise, that are fundamentally shaping your life right now?